This is Riley from Power Trip, and you're watching Hails from the Crypt.
Sean the Butcher on location in New York City at Irving Plaza, hanging out with my man Riley from Power Trip. What up, Riley?
Hello.
Thank you for being here with me. We're hanging out in the hallway, just being in everybody's way, trying to get up and down these steps. You guys just put out this brand new album, Nightmare Logic. It is out now on Southern Lord. You guys have been touring all over the place with Cannibal Corpse and Gate Creeper. And I've been following you guys on Twitter, and I saw that there was like an argument happening on Twitter where some people were threatening to come fight with Power Trip, and you guys were going back and forth at it on Twitter. What the hell happened with that?
Okay, so I guess a group of these guys that call themselves Proud Boys, and they say they're not white supremacists, that they're trying to preserve like Western chauvinism or some bullshit like that. And I guess, you know, look, when you own a bar, it's like a clubhouse. Like if it's not a TGI Fridays, you don't get to walk in and fucking assert whatever you feel like you want into that place, you know. So that's why they have signs that say we have a right to refuse service to anyone or whatever. So I guess there was a group of these guys in there, and they thought it was like a singles bar or something, or just like weren't leaving women alone and just kind of being creepy or whatever. And it turned into like a physical altercation, and so like one guy I guess got beat up pretty bad, and they're sitting there telling, you know, my friend, you know, you need to. I probably shouldn't have said her name, but whatever.
No, that's all right. I can take it out.
Sorry, they start harassing a friend of ours and saying, you know, you need to call the police. And she's saying, why don't you fucking leave? Like, you know, you're not really welcome here. You know, they start. What's funny to me, there's two things that are funny about that. One, that they walk into this place that's, you know, essentially like kind of like the punk bar in Vancouver, or at least like a divey place, and then try to like, you know, act like it's like a hip singles club or something like that. I don't know what they're thinking. And two, it's like if you're in this group that's like trying to uphold like Western chauvinism and shit like that, isn't a big part of that like pugilism? Like if you got your ass kicked, why are you whining to have the police called on you? Yeah. That's just my opinion. So but what happened, the aftermath they got her name, they started giving out her like personal information. And we're like sending her, you know, like rape and death threats and all this stuff. And I got really upset because she's a friend of ours. So I said, hey, if any of you Proud Boys, you know, want to come to a show, please come to a show, and like let's see what this is all about. You can come in through the back, like, you know, like, because if you want to like come in to a space and then try and run the space, well, you know, there's gonna be some pushback, and I was like, look, I'm not like asking to like run around and beat up all these people, but it was a situation where I felt like my friend, they're threatening a friend of mine. So I said, come up here and tell me, you know, where do you get off like giving out her address and like sending her death threats and like doing all this stuff to her. And Gavin McInnes, who is sort of the head of the Proud Boys, this fucking mustache dipshit, like fucking half-assed wannabe like political pundit, used to be with Vice kind of guy, like just a turd, started responding, and like, you know, I was roasting him back, and he kind of wasn't really like responding. But then you know, some guys claimed they came to a show and we were hiding backstage, but like I had friends at the show, and I was at the merch table for like all of Cannibal Corpse's set, and no one ever identified themselves. It's like, you can Google a picture of me. I don't know what the fuck you guys look like. They don't exist. They're a bunch of boogeymen. They're a bunch of I realize they're just a bunch of really like middle-aged men who are good at being weird on the internet, and they sit there and they try and scare people, but they'll never come out and they'll never do anything in public. And anytime they do try and have something showing in public, they get stomped out. So he tried to lie, and then they tried to do this he said she said shit, and they were wrong. And I mean, it still stands. Like Gavin McInnes, come here. I know you live in the city. Like, next time you come through, be my guest. Yes. You know, like, we could fucking put on the gloves. I don't give a shit. I'm 5'4".
We'll do it for charity. You know?
Yeah, we'll do it for charity. I don't give a shit. Like,
Power Trip, walking the walk, talking the talk. On to more positive things, the brand new album. Make sure you pick up Nightmare Logic, out now on Southern Lord. I want to talk about how you guys linked up to get Executioner's Tax, the theme song for NXT War Games. That was fucking incredible.
All I can thank is our manager Adam. That's all. I really don't know how that happened. Yeah. So I know. There's a guy. There's a guy at NXT. I couldn't tell you his name. That has got his pulse on what's happening with a lot of younger bands and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's a good gateway. But our manager's just been really.
Is anybody a Power Trip wrestling fans or not really?
Honestly, no.
Okay, we'll keep that on the wrap.
Okay, I was like me and then Chris Ulsh, the drummer, were like diehards for Raw Attitude, like WCW era. Basically, when like Stone Cold left and like Cena and like Angle came in, I was like, I'm out. I just bailed.
Well, props to you guys for getting Executioner's Tax, the theme song for NXT War Games. What is after this? What is going on for Power Trip after the Cannibal Corpse and Gate Creeper tour? What info can you give us? I know you guys are playing some big festivals. I saw. What can you tell us for the future of Power Trip, Riley?
Okay, well, we're working on a single for Adult Swim, which will be really cool. The song called Hornet's Nest. It's kind of a response to sort of this like phantasm alt-right kind of thing. Like, like if you guys think, you're so big, bad, and powerful, like come and fuck with the common people, and see where it gets you, like come and fuck with the Hornet's Nest and see what happens, that kind of thing. So it's sort of like a politically charged song with like, this little allegory hidden behind it. We're working on that. That'll be out sometime next year. We're going to Europe for 10 days on the Persistence tour with Haybreed, Terror, Madball, some other bands, Broken Teeth, Born from Pain. Then we're off for a while. Chris has got to go do a Mammoth Grinder tour supporting his new record, which is just fucking phenomenal. Really, really good record. Some knuckle dragger, caveman shit. Yeah. Then I got announced. We're doing 7 weeks in Europe as direct support to Trivium, so that's exciting. I honestly full disclosure, I've never really listened to Trivium. I don't really know what they sound like, so I'm excited to I just know that they're huge.
They're gigantic.
Yeah, I know. All the shows that we'll play basically on that tour will be the biggest, maybe biggest shows, even including festivals that we've ever played. Some of them, I think London is like 5,000 cap or something crazy. And I know, I think Matt, the singer, guitar player, yeah. He's a big fan, which is really cool. I just think that's a really cool thing to do. He's also they're bringing out this band Venom Prison too, who we've played with in their hometown in Cardiff, and they were really good. And I just think that's cool to have a band like that kind of handpick 2 bands and really push. This is like the 3rd time that they've asked us to go out with them, and this is just now. It's not that we were like no, it just never lined up. So it's really great that's actually happening, but 7 weeks is going to be a grind.
Power Trip can handle it, man. You guys are out here killing it. You can be all right. You'll be all right. I want to get into another song off the brand new album, Nightmare Logic, out now on Southern Lord. I want to thank Riley for hanging out with me here on SiriusXM Liquid Metal. This is the track that was the theme song for NXT WWE's War Games, which was an absolutely awesome pay-per-view. If you haven't checked it out on the WWE Network, I highly recommend it.
Good?
Yeah, it was
awesome. Good?
You can hear Power Trip.
I'm going to have to watch it.
It was brutal. It was brutal. I enjoyed it. So check it out and check out brand new music from Power Trip, Executioner's Tax. Swing of the axe.